Well, this video can help somebody that's got a ceiling leak and it's in the bathroom, or a leak, or sometimes it's not, you can't even find the leak. You'll just smell like moldy or mildew. It's leaking somewhere. You just can't find it. You can't figure it out. You're thinking, what's going on? This video may help you. This video is related to people that have package units. A package unit, for those of you who don't know, is a unit that has the fan, the blower. Usually they're square units. The bigger units, you'll see them, they're bigger units. The smaller units are just the condensation. Then you have a blower inside the house or the apartment. In this case, package units, the blower and everything's up on the roof. And all you have is just the vents or ducts that go, in and out of your house or apartment. So what happens here is, I got this call from this complex and I had to go do a work order. They actually had a leak in their bathroom, and the ceiling was moist. You could see where the water had been coming in. Right away, I saw there was package units in that complex, so I knew this could be the problem. Of course, I went up to the roof. I started looking at it. They had already tried repairing the roof a few times, and the roof, looked good. Everything was good. There was nothing noticeable as far as a leak, even though it's really hard to tell just by looking at it. But I could tell it was the actual condensation line. The drip pan is higher than where it's draining, of course. But as you can see, it comes out of the unit in a 90 right away, and then it works its way into the vent. And they're connecting themselves into the plumbing vent. So what happens here is, and I'm going to draw it here on a piece of paper, but as you can see here in the video, the actual, right after that, there's a T, and then there's a P trap, and then there's a T, and right at the T, you can see it's still holding water. That should not have any water, because obviously that point right there should be lower than where it's draining out. Yeah, the P trap will hold water, and it has to have it, and it has to be there. But after that, it shouldn't really hold water, because then it's draining backwards. So that's a good way of knowing if there's a T up there, and you'll see it. And if it's holding water, if it's after the P trap, then you know for sure that there's a problem with it. So I'm gonna draw here what happens. See, what happens is, this is your vent for your plumbing. And I'm going to exaggerate a little bit. I know it wasn't this exaggerated, but I'm just going to exaggerate it a little bit just to prove my point here. But what happens is, this is the condensation line that's coming from the unit, from the AC unit, the package unit. Of course, this has to sit. I'm going to start. I have to write with my right hand so you guys can see. So I'm left-handed, but I'll do it with my right. If you guys are finding any value in this video, I'd really appreciate a like. And if you guys are into your own home repairs and stuff like that, or apartment repairs or maintenance guys, I'm always doing these types of videos that can help somebody. So this has to be a little bit further than the wall of the pipe, which is correct in this case. But what happens is, there's a T back here, like we saw right now, and we could see standing water here. And I exaggerated, but usually by the time the water gets here, this gets filled up, you would think the water would drain right into the pipe, so it shouldn't matter. Unfortunately, it doesn't. It works its way down the pipe, and sometimes it'll work its way right down this pipe. But on the outside, instead of going on the inside, it'll work its way right on the outside. Which, down here, we have the plywood for the ceiling, for the roof, and a little bit lower than that, it's going to be the sheetrock for the ceiling. So the water probably in this case worked its way all the way down the sheetrock somewhere. Maybe it hit the insulation somewhere or something. And that's why the sheetrock was all wet. And I could see the moisture in the bathroom. And I could smell it too. Because what happens is, they said it was worst when it was raining. And so they figured it had something to do with the rain, the water was pulling. Well, what happens is, package units or any air conditioner is going to condensate more when there's a lot of moisture in the air. So obviously right after a rain, there's a lot of moisture, so there's a lot of condensation. So these lines are running a lot of water when it just rained. So it was related to the rain, but it wasn't actually leaking because of the rain. I know they have probably put some kind of caulking or silicone or something here, But after a few summers, it just wore out, or whatever happened to it. It started leaking. And this is not a high pressure line, so nobody's too worried about what they put here. So that's what happened. That's where the leak was at. Now we're gonna go over how to repair this. The first thing is we have to get this line to drain this way, the opposite of that way, of course. One of the ways you can do it is if you have plenty of line long enough and it's not gonna damage anything back there, you can always stick a piece of 2x4, a piece of brick, any spacer here that will. All you want to do is, and now I'm gonna draw it up here, so it would be this line, but I'm just gonna draw it up here. What we want to do is make sure this line actually flows this way. Once it flows this way, once water hits this spot, of course it's gonna go right down the drain. There's no way it could go back up because of gravity. So all we got to do is make this thing flow this way. In this case, in this unit, I had to change the P-trap because it right away started at a 90 and it went really deep. So I just had to put a different coming out of the condensation pan, different to give me this flow. But like I said, it doesn't always have to be like that. Sometimes you can just stick something underneath. Just make sure. You can even put a little level here. Just make sure it's draining this way. As long as it's draining this way, then you reseal this with whatever you got. I mean, some roof materials or what you want to use on this, and you should be okay. Well, I hope this video helps somebody. If you've been having an issue with your bathroom with some kind of smell or leaks or moisture, that could be it. So if you have a package unit, it's a good idea to check this. That may be it. Well, you guys have a great day.